Hey, what is up, YouTube? So today I'm going to be showing off my Post-Photon Hypernova Swordsoul deck profile, and there will be a separate video with combos, tips, and tricks, but for today, it's just going to be going over what's in the main extra and side deck. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, we will start with 3 Swordsoul Moye and 3 Incredible Ecclesia, 3 Swordsoul Longwon, and 2 Taya, 3 Ashina, 3 Vishuddha, 3 Adhara, and then in the next row, we've got 1 Shathana, 1 Destrudo, 3 Effect Failure, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Then we've got 3 Swordsoul Sacred Summit. So this card tends to get overlooked quite a bit, and people don't tend to like a lot of Swordsoul builds and players that play Swordsoul don't tend to like see the potential with this card, but it's super good. So essentially, by itself, it is a monster reborn for any Swordsoul monster in your graveyard. So if you get hit with Dark Hole, Nibiru, Raigeki, like pretty much anything, just bring your Swordsoul monster back. But if you control a Synchro monster, you can also target any worm monster instead, special summon it, and then it also has the Swordsoul Emergence play, where if it's banished, you can target one of your worm monsters and increase or decrease its level by 1 until the end of the turn. So that's also pretty cool. And then after Swordsoul Sacred Summit, we do have 3 Emergence, 3 Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. Now, this card is super good. So basically, I will be showing, like, of course, combos, tips, and tricks, and everything like that in a separate video, but I'll go ahead and break this down. But basically, say you've got Adhara in hand, but then you also have a Shuna in hand, and say, and I will be adding that card back, but say from hand, you special summon a Shuna, and then you link it off into Monk of the, you link it off, okay? And then after you link it off, you drop Vessel from your hand, and you're gonna go ahead and send Vishuddha to the graveyard. And then the second effect of Vessel is that if you control a face-up non-effect monster, then you can also, in addition to sending 1 worm from your deck to the graveyard, you can also add 1 to your hand. So basically, you would go Specialist Shuna, link it off, and then drop Vessel, send Vishuddha to the graveyard, add Adhara to the hand. Then you're going to special summon Adhara, which is a level 1 tuner, and then you're going to activate the engrave effect of Ashina. It will banish itself, and then it will be able to special summon another Vishuddha from your deck. So then 1 plus 7, that's an 8. Okay, so that's a level 8 synchro right off the bat. Easy, like super clean combo. And that's not even like your full board or anything. Like, that's literally just you getting started. And like, I don't know, it's pretty bizarre. If you have the most cracked hand with this deck, you can easily get out 4 synchros in a single turn. And with my version of the deck, you can 9 times out of 10, of course, end on an 8 and a 10 synchro. But I'd say a good 70 to 75% of the time you can end on 3 synchros in a turn, which is consisting of 2 8s, 2 10s, or 3 8s, 1 10, or, mixed variety. And then, of course, after the vessels, you do have the 2 Pot of Desires and then the 1 Blackout. And I'll go more in depth about combos and such in the next video. But after that, we're going to move down and take a look at the extra deck. So in the extra deck, we have 2 Monk of the Tenyi, 1 Shaman, 1 Yazi, 2 Shishao, 2 Baxia, 1 Draco Berserker, 1 Dragite. This card is super, super good. 1 Barone. You don't make him as much as you used to. Going second, you definitely do. May start using him more often if Nibiru ends up being super prominent. And then Chingang, this card is insane. This is the new guy from Photon Hypernova, which is Ice Jade Gimmer. And this card is pretty insane. So basically what it does is that you can activate this effect, and it's a quick effect. You don't have to do anything to activate it. You can just do it once per turn. Face-up monsters you control cannot be destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effects this turn. Super, super good against Kashtira. And then if you activated this effect in response to your opponent's card or effect, and your opponent has a card with that name on their field or in the graveyard, then you can banish those cards. And then here's another effect on top of that. If a card is banished by your opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, then you can special summon this card. So that's pretty bananas. Okay. Yeah, so after that, we've got Swordsoul Sinister Sovereign, long one. This card is super, super good. So last format against Sprite and Tier, this card was like the MVP. After that, we've got Psychic and Punisher. This might come up like once every, say, 20-25 games. But if you end up in a nasty situation where you make a Moye or a Taya or a long one, and then you make a token, and then immediately after, then your Swordsoul monster gets banished or destroyed. You're left with a token, and while that token's on the field, you can only synchro summon from the extra deck. So you can't go into a monk or a shaman until you get rid of that token. And one of the ways to do that is actually with this guy. So say you're in a situation, you've got, alright, so you do that exact scenario. So your Sword Soul is gone. Now you've got the level 4 tuner token. From hand, special summon Ashuna or special summon Vishuda. Now keep in mind, I'm not referring to the second effect of this, which locks you into worms, but assuming you have one of these guys in hand, or a vessel and a way to get one of these guys to hand, then you simply special summon it, make Psychic and Punisher, and this card is an absolute unit. So yeah, let's go ahead and get one to the side deck. So the side deck, we've got 3 Gamma, 1 Driver, 3 Nibiru. This card, along with Dragite, is a super, super good thing. So whenever you're side decking in Nibiru, then you can go Dragite, And what this allows you to do is excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and then if you do, you can return cards your opponent controls to the hand up to the number of excavated rock monsters, and then you place the excavated cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. But it also has another effect that when your opponent activates a spell or trap or effect while a water monster is in your grave, then you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And Shatana is a water, and Moye is a water, and so, you know, majority of the time, that play is coming up. So after Nibiru, we've got 2 triple tactics talents, 3 Book of Eclipse, and 3 evenly matched. And I'm going to go over a ton of combos and all kinds of crazy things that you can do with this deck in Photon Hypernova. And if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and consider subscribing. Thanks.